Welcome back. Today I'd like to talk about the 3 insurance policies which are built into the original Kriya Yoga. Why are they there? What are they doing? Why is it important that we practice at least a little bit of them every single day? How is it going to ease our way through all of the meditation program? How is that working internally inside of the Kriya Yoga program? Why is that so helpful? Let's get into it. So the very first insurance policy is the Mahamudra. That's number 1. We're going to lengthen the muscles, and that is going to help us sit very still in meditation. It's not always easy to sit very still. When we enter into HRV resonance, it becomes so much easier to sit still in meditation. And when we do the Mahamudra and we lengthen the muscles before we sit down, there's an extra ease and flow in the body. It's going to make it that much easier to sit very still. So that's the first reason we want to do the Mahamudra. The second reason is we're going to encounter energy in our meditations. We're going to reach this point where the heart knot begins to open. The heart, the sensitivity opens up, and we start to perceive things internally inside of the body. Maybe as simple as hearing our own heartbeat, noticing the flow of blood, noticing eventually this flow of the subconscious that feels like energy inside of the body. And if we've been doing a little bit of the Mahamudra every single day, it has a cumulative effect. And there's more openness and ease in the whole body, and it allows for that flow. It allows for more of that flow. So we notice these movements of energy, and we notice they don't get stuck as much as they would with somebody who is not practicing a little bit of Mahamudra every single day and establishing that flow and openness inside of the body. And that is why all of the yogis talk about, well, we ought to do some asana before we get into meditation. And that's what the Mahamudra is. It's establishing that openness and flow so that when we do encounter energy, it tends to move more easily and not get stuck in one location, which if you read enough Kundalini stories or you hear enough of them, you'll find out this is a problem yogis can occasionally have. The energy gets stuck in one location, and it will tend not to do so when we have a bit more Mahamudra under our belt. So that's why we're doing all of this. It's this accumulative effect over time that we're trying to establish in our yogic body, in our yogic minds. The second insurance policy is the Navi Kriya. It just blows my mind how powerful it is. We're going to Om into the third chakra mentally. We put our mind there, maybe we interlace our fingers. We put our thumbs together. We want to help our mind go into the third chakra right at the belly button. Just put our minds there and press inwards with the Om. 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 And we can say it out loud to practice. And then eventually we move on to just a mental Om coming this way into the third chakra. And that is going to awaken over time the digestive response, which will rise up through the ventral vagal. So now you're cleaning out this front channel over time. You're cleaning this out. And then in the second part of the Navi, we're going to place the head gently backwards. Maybe place our hands back here at the back side of the third chakra and Om 25 times on that side. So 100 on the front, and then 25 on the back. Putting a little pressure from the back side. Om, Om, mentally on the back side. So we've cleared out the front channel, and then we transfer it to the back channel, into the dorsal vagal, which is everything that the Kriya yogi is trying to get into. So I cleared this out, and I took that release of energy, and I transferred it to the back. And along the way, I cleared the projection of fear, which comes from the right amygdala. Where does it go? Down into the cold pit of fear that we get in our guts. That's where that projection of fear is going. And I'm clearing that out. And that's why Babaji said to Lahiri Mahashaya, when you give this Kriya, tell them, even a little bit of this Dharma will save you from the great fear. What great fear? The great fear projected from the right amygdala into the third chakra. It's the very first thing that we are really cleaning out with the Navi Kriya insurance policy. We're getting that out of the way. And day after day, when you do this, you'll notice that your anxiety in life goes down. Your fear goes down. It's so powerful. I had a student, he said, you know, Forrest, I had night terrors when I was a child. He started to go into some deep meditation, and those fears came back up because where are you going? You're going deep into the right brain. And the fear is on the right side, on the right amygdala, isn't it? So he started to encounter a little bit of that fear, which he had a tendency from childhood to encounter. And I said, great. Only do Navi Kriya for 1 month. He called me back in 1 week. He said, Forrest, it's all gone. Really? Yes, it's all completely gone. And I asked him later, did it come back? Absolutely not. Cleared it out completely, and now I'm dedicated every day to Navi Kriya. It's that magical. It's really magical. And what a boon for the world to practice just a little bit of Navi Kriya every day, and so shrink our fear every single day. What you don't use in the brain, you lose. So if you use a little less fear one day, and then you use a little less fear the next day, and a little less fear, by clearing it out through Navi Kriya, the right amygdala physically shrinks over time. This is the one great, great hurdle in meditation, and we are directly facing it. First, the hurdle of, I can't sit very still. I don't have ease in the body. Second, this huge hurdle of the right amygdala, of fear, of the third chakra. We're getting that out of the way. And it's such an amazing transformative technique, preliminary technique, before you get into your Kriya. And so if you one day practice your meditation with Navi, and then the next day you practice without, you can weigh the two. Which one was easier? And you'll notice the Kriya with the Navi is helped tremendously. 50, 75%. It's helped that much. It speeds it up that much. It's that powerful. So I hope you'll try it. Give it a shot. See what you think. The third humongous insurance policy in Kriya is the Om Japa in the chakras. Because we are cleaning out the chakras. And this is the one thing that Lahiri Mahashaya told his students. Now, this means this problem came up almost immediately after he began to teach. It's very interesting, isn't it? Because he wrote letters and his family saved those letters and published them. You gotta do the Om Japa in the chakras. If you don't do the Om Japa in the chakras, the technique will become tamasic over time. It will become negative. Why? Because, well, you're going up and down with energy through the spine, and you're not clearing out at the same time. That's not a good recipe. You're going to stir up your old stuff, and you're not clearing it out. That's like running around your house, stirring up all of the dust, but not getting it out. We want to clean it up and get it out. And then everything works as it should. Everything works correctly. So from the very beginning, Lahiri Mashai was telling his students and telling his teachers, the gurus that he made, hey, don't forget the Om Japa. You gotta put it in there. It's really, really important. And this is, along with the Navi, our most powerful insurance policy. That Om Japa through the chakras every single day, a little bit every day, a little bit every day. And you'll start to encounter what the Kriya yogis feel. I feel clean. I feel clear. And that clarity reflects back on the mind, and this is the way, this is the doorway into the deep states in meditation. Can we get there otherwise? There's lots of kinds of therapy in the world, and we can do some of those other therapies, which are also clearing. So there's a chance we can still get there without the Om Japa. But now you know this humongous secret. So why would you try that? Why wouldn't you incorporate a little bit of Om Japa in the 6 chakras, from the medulla to the coccyx? Those 6. Why wouldn't you incorporate a little bit of Om into them every single day? So how do you do it? You start at the bottom, Om, mentally. Then you move to the next chakra, Om. Then the next chakra, Om. Then the heart, Om. Then the throat, Om. Then the medulla, Om. That's how you do it, mentally. You do that mentally, so you're pushing it through mentally. Absolutely magical. It will lead to clarity, and it will lead to cleanliness in your energetic system. We don't want to just get into a low idle state and sit there. We want to get into a low idle state and have the clarity reflected back on the mind. And sit in clarity. Sit in peace. Peace and joy through this cleanliness of the chakras, the projections of the brain, and through this cleanliness of the mind, which appears to us through this process. So the Om Japa is really, really powerful in clearing the way and allowing the consciousness to rise towards the brain. And this is really what the Kriya is trying to give you. So the tranquil breath and the freeze response, these are the ideal conditions to be in that very, very low idle state, so that we can encounter this huge clarity of mind. But that clarity of mind gets big and gets very, very divine through the process of rising up into the higher centers. As we rise toward the heart, as we rise toward the throat, towards the medulla, towards the brain, towards the top of the head, we encounter this feeling of a higher and higher mentality, more and more clarity, more and more peace, more and more spontaneous joy, spontaneous compassion, spontaneous expansiveness. Everything which we hold as dear, as holy and divine, we begin to encounter through this roll-up of consciousness. And all of that is made possible by by clearing the way, getting everything out of the way. So the consciousness has nowhere to go but back to its home in the brain. That's what the Om Japa in the chakras is all about. So those are our huge, beautiful 3 insurance policies which are built into the original Kriya Yoga. And that's why I say, that's one of the reasons I say the Kriya Yoga is the most comprehensive plan of deep, powerful meditation that I have ever encountered. It has those 3 insurance policies built into it. And if we don't have them, meditation can go wrong. It can begin to go wrong. And we want to curb that. We want to stay away from problems. So the Mahamudra, the Navi, and the Om Japa are clearing the way and making sure we stay in the correct direction, that everything lines up correctly in our meditations. Isn't that amazing? So I hope you use these 3 insurance policies. Even if you're not in Kriya, you can still incorporate these 3 things into your preliminary exercises. See what it does for you. So I hope you love this. If you did, be sure to hit that bell down below.